Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of SAT Sports with yours truly, Marcus and Freddy. First off, how are we doing tonight?
Good, man. Tonight's a good night. NBA started yesterday. We had 2 games. Today we have another slate of 6 or 7 games. So it's NBA week, opening tip-off week.
Yes, you are right. NBA tipped off last night. We'll talk about those. I'm watching the Pels right now. They're actually look good. Zion is playing right now. He's already got 11 points and 4 rebounds in the game so far. Brandon Ingram's got 19 points and 6 rebounds. CJ McCollum, 18 points and 4 assists. They're looking good so far. I mean, it's a back-and-forth game. It's a rivalry, but right now they're at the start of the fourth period. The Pels are up by 12. Just the fourth period just started already. Pels are on defense right now, but they're looking good. I hope they keep this momentum going.
Right.
So we already got comments coming in. Dylan tuning in already. What's going on? Be sure to check out
What's going on, Dylan?
Check out the Dome Field Advantage right here on the Fanatics Network. Be sure to subscribe. They got a brand new YouTube channel. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, and you can catch all the shows, including this one, my other show, the World Elite Podcast, Dylan's show, Dome Field Advantage. You catch Outrage Control, the Tim King Show, the Universal Wrestling Podcast. You catch everything on the Fanatics Network. So be sure to go on YouTube and hit that subscribe button. Brand new YouTube channel available now. Trying to get everybody back. But I figured, I know we're going to do a lot of basketball talk, but I was like, you know what? We haven't really kicked the show off yet talking the NFL. And I don't really have much to say, but I figured we'd just get it out of the way already. Jordan tuning in as well. What's going on? We got Justin from the End Time Wrestling Podcast as well.
What's going on, Justin?
So I will say that I didn't watch a lot of NFL this week. I kind of took a small little break, especially the fact we played on a Thursday night. We played like shit. So I probably watched a total of 2 games this week, which the second game I'll mention was definitely my game of the week I'll bring up. But just a quick recap of what the Saints did. 31-24 loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars on a Thursday night. So every time we brought your boy Todrick on, he's 2-0 against me. I brought him on for the LSU Florida State matchup. Florida State won the game. I bring him on for this one, and the Jags win. I will give a shout out to local native Travis Etienne, who grew up 10 miles away from me. He got over that hump of losing in the Dome, and he finally got his first win of his life in the Superdome. He had 14 carries, 53 yards, and 2 touchdowns. His longest touchdown of the night, I think it was 17 yards. Plus, he broke a record for the Jacksonville Jaguars as well. I forgot what it was. I think all-time rushing leader of the season, Kim Johnson tuning in. How you doing, Miss Kim?
Okay.
But the Saints, so another bad night, another loss. I think they're 3-3 right now. Derek Carr threw another interception in the game. 33 completed passes out of 55, 301 passing yards. He did get a touchdown pass to Michael Thomas, who had a total of 42 yards in receiving. Alvin Kamara, though, led in rushing and receiving in this game. He had 17 carries for 62 total rushing yards, 12 receptions for a total of 91 yards. The defense, though, 50 total tackles, 36 solo, 2 tackles for a loss, but no sacks.
No sacks. And they're 3-4. 1 game under 500.
Okay, so yeah, they're 3-4 of the season. And I'm going to question if they can actually beat the Colts this weekend when their star quarterback Anthony Richardson's out and they got Gardner Minshew starting a QB. When we do the predictions later on, that game's going to determine if I'm going to ever pick them every week the rest of the season, because if they can't beat the Colts with a backup.
No, I mean Mitchell, and
I'm not going to pick them. I'm not going to pick them against the Bears.
Right. I mean, we'll get to that game, but Mitchell is not playing bad.
No, I was kind of weird picking them over the Jags in that game, which that was kind of a mistake, but I learned my lesson from that. But as I pop the NFL games up, I know the Patriots got a big win over the Buffalo Bills.
Finally got a win, man. About time.
29-25 win, but the last 2 weeks, this is one of the topics you brought up when you said the NFL refs. Are you talking about the NFL all of a sudden getting rigged with how games have been coming, and then you got these shit teams beating these dominant teams, and dominant teams struggle wins with these shit teams? I mean,
No, it's more the calls that I watched on Sunday. I watched a couple of games because I do have the NFL ticket. Mostly I was watching the Patriots game because they were the 1 o'clock game. So I was focused on that game. It wasn't on YouTube NFL ticket. It was on regular TV broadcast, which was good. But there was a lot of calls and a lot of games that determined the outcome of games, especially in the Browns versus the Colts game. 2 pass interference calls in a matter of 30 seconds changed that whole game around. Which let the Browns come back and beat the Colts. There was one offensive pass interference play where the ball was overthrown into the stands, and they called pass interference on an uncatchable ball. There's been a lot of calls. There was a call in the Patriots game, roughing the pass on Josh Allen, which was ridiculous. There's just been a lot of referees, bad calls, and they're it's determining games late. It's not even early calls. It's late calls, second half, fourth quarter calls that are really determining the outcome of a lot of these games that happened this week.
Yeah. So I said, I've only watched 2 games this week. So the Saints-Jag games is my toilet bowl of the week. And the Eagles-Dolphins game was my game of the week, hands down. Shout out to the Eagles rocking the Kelly Greens. Felt like it was the 1970s all over again, or the 80s. Whatever year they rocked the Kelly Greens, and it looked pretty cool. Now, there's some teams like I was destined to see go to the Super Bowl. They're getting losses now. Like, let's take the 49ers, for example. You go from 5-0 to losing back-to-back to 2 shit teams like the Cleveland Browns and the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah. What the hell, Brock Purdy? And now you got Joe Burrow next, and you're definitely got a radar looking if Joe Burrow and them can pull off a win.
I mean,
3 in a row.
I think we all know Purdy was going to come down to earth eventually. What, he went 12 straight regular season games almost? Something like that without losing the games?
11-0. He was
11-0 in regular season. So, I mean, he lost 2 back-to-back games. The Browns, they should have lost. The kicker should have made that field goal. But this game, they just got outplayed by the Vikings. Granted, they didn't have Debo. They had a couple of injuries on that side of the ball. But the Vikings don't have Justin Jefferson. I mean, Kirk Cousins is terrible on primetime games. But he threw almost 50 passes, 1 INT, but they gave up 0 sacks, which is crazy for a San Francisco defense not to get any sacks that night. I mean, two games that they lost, but I don't think all hope is lost. He is out this week. Maybe they do go 0-3 because they're starting Sam Darnold. Purdy's in concussion protocol, so we'll see.
Well, some I've kind of pictured like I said the Bears were going to beat the Raiders. My lock-in, I said the Falcons were going to beat Tampa Bay. It happened. Some games I didn't expect. Like, I didn't expect the Broncos to beat the Packers like that. But it was a close game. I didn't expect the Steelers to beat the Rams. Even the Lions getting decimated by the Baltimore Ravens. Now the Ravens are kind of in that AFC talk. Like, you're talking about, we were talking about teams like the Bills and even the Chiefs or the Bengals, even the Miami Dolphins. Don't sleep on the Baltimore Ravens.
That was my toilet bowl game of the week. I was not expecting the Lions to only score 6 points. I have Lamar Jackson in my fantasy and ESPN league. And I'm watching that game. I'm like, what the hell? And I have golf in a couple of other leagues. And it was like, what the hell? They just completely got demolished on both ends of the ball.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, with everything going on now, I don't know if you want to consider this politics, but I felt like the AFC Championship game is going to end up being the Chiefs over the Ravens, all because of a blonde pop singer. Some tells me the Chiefs are going to end up going to the Super Bowl just because of her and her obsession with this. So I don't know if they're together or not. There's rumors that, they were locking lips in the back of a limo or some shit. Well, I don't think they're together because, hear me out. You're a guy. I'm a guy.
Of course.
Who in the living hell I'm going to say on a woman, by the way, I'm talking about Taylor Swift. Who the fuck wears those little, I call them the little friendship
She had
wristbands.
she had an 87 on it.
Yeah, they're probably BFFs. You can't be in love and wear that crap. That's what guys in the friend zone does with women. Make those little braces with the beads, and it's like, oh, girls rule, friends forever. Well, I don't see a love couple doing that. Me and my woman don't do shit like that.
Whatever's going on,
never would.
Whatever's going on, it is helping his popularity, his jersey sales a lot. It is, and it's definitely helping the NFL. They are making some type of a money off of her being at these games. There's no way they're not. There's some type of deal where she's going to these games, and she's getting money from it, and they're profiting from it as well. Because every time the Chiefs are on TV, their games are the highest viewed now because Taylor Swift is going to be at the game, whether they're home or away.
Something tells me every game they're going to end up being they're going to treat them like the Dallas Cowboys. As long as she's around, they're going to have them like every CBS game they can get at noon or game of the week at 3:25, America's game of the week, all because of her. They're going to get shown on TV every week, all because of her. You want to make it worse? I saw someone posted an image. They had her with Brittany and Jackson Mahomes together. That was nasty. Like,
they did their own handshake, and Jackson Mahomes got into it. I was like, oh Lord.
Oh my God. Like, I don't mind Brittany Mahomes. I know a lot of people can't stand her. But, like, if I had to pick my poison out of the three, I'd pick Brittany Mahomes over Jackson or Taylor
Jackson Mahomes
Swift.
is terrible.
I'm surprised he's not got his ass whooped on a sideline all those times he did them TikToks on the visitor's sideline or the opponent's sidelines.
And it's funny because he's still under investigation for sexual assault. He got a case pending.
To what? Or to who?
You didn't see a girl who owns a restaurant. He forcefully kissed her, the owner of the restaurant, and she filed sexual harassment.
I thought he was gay, or he's bi.
I mean, he might be, but there's a video, and he's. I think he even got arrested for it. He's under investigation for it. He got a pending charge.
Maybe it was a friend kiss. I don't know. I thought he was a homosexual. Everyone says that he came out, so I don't know. I don't care because I just get him off my TV and get his stupid TikToks off my phone screen too, which I don't have TikTok, but they randomly will pop up on Instagram or Facebook. Anything that involves the Chiefs because I follow Patrick Mahomes, and they're gonna throw his baby brother in all his trends and everything, and it pisses me off.
Yeah,
I love Mahomes. I love Patrick Mahomes, but I don't want to watch another Chiefs game because now you got Taylor Swift and his brother. I don't care for his wife. I'll look at his wife on TV. She don't bother me. Just because she had that one incident where she was like flicking alcohol or something off the sweets and it was hitting people, saying they were cold and they were freezing from the alcohol or the water she was like shooting out of the sweet because they were going to the Super Bowl or whatnot. I don't know. But I'll bring up some more drama. Hold on. I'll bring up some more drama on my end. So I think it was 2 days ago, Chris Olave went like 72 and a 35 and got pulled over for speeding. And while the cop was talking to him, I've heard stories like this with multiple guys who made it to the pros. Look, just because you made it to the pros doesn't mean you're invincible. You can get away and do whatever you want. Because I have a backstory about a guy from my hometown had this kind of same issue before. Back in the 90s, like when I was a kid, there was a guy from my alma mater. He's a Hall of Famer at our school. They hadn't retired his jersey yet, but like he went on and played college football. He chose to stay local. He chose to play for McNeese over Nebraska. He had a free ride for Nebraska, but he didn't go play for them. He wanted to stay local. But he got offered a walk-on to play for at the time, the Oakland Raiders, and he signed with them. And the day he was flying out to go to training camp, he got, I think it was before he got on the plane. He got pulled over. He either got pulled over for like running a red light or something, or speeding, or swerving off the road because he was driving all night to get to the airport. Well, he was being cocky and arrogant. He was like, "You don't know who I am? Sorry about that." He said, "You don't know who I am? I just signed with the Oakland Raiders. I'm going to be a big star." Well, when the cop heard that and he flew into Oakland, As soon as he got off the plane, the coach, the owner of the team, and another person was standing there to give him a slip saying you're released. And they turned him around and flew him back home, and he never got to play.
Can't use your stature to your advantage.
Yeah, and it's a sad story to hear. Like, he could have been something, come out of my town, but Chris Olave kind of pulled something like that. He's like, you don't know who I am? I play for the New Orleans Saints. The cop said, and? But so he got arrested, which that's why I always say, just go. Don't resist. Don't argue with the cop because you know what the outcome's going to be. It ain't got nothing to do with race or anything like that. It's just you're being an arrogant asshole.
Let me ask you a question, Marcus. Is there because I know people who I've seen other athletes. We've seen stories of athletes of speeding, going like 100 and like a 60 and getting like a speeding ticket. Why was he ultimately arrested though? That's what I'm not understanding.
I'm going to assume of how many times I watched the tape. I'm going to assume because he wouldn't stop arguing with the cops saying.
Is that what it is?
I think it has to do with that. Just because but Chris Olave obviously don't have no common sense because he played for Ohio State. Come on now. I hate Ohio State, but
I'm just confused because I was like, okay, 70 and 35. Okay, it's bad, but it's not like doing 130. That we've seen other athletes do in like school zones. So I'm like, why? What is enough for him to get arrested?
I didn't really read an article. I just watched the video. I mean, if it was in a school zone, that's one thing. I mean, it could have been in a subdivision neighborhood.
Yeah, because it looked like it was at night. But I don't enough to get arrested. 70 and 35.
I mean, I don't know if he was trying to resist and fight with a cop. They didn't show that. They just showed the video of him saying, "You don't know who I am? I play for the New Orleans Saints," and then the cop saying, "And." So it sucks. Now I don't know how bad it is where he's out, where he won't be able to play in the Colts game. I'm pretty sure I need to start listening to Locked On Saints to get an update on Chris Olave's behalf if he's been bailed out, and maybe he might get a slap on the wrist, maybe get a 1-game suspension. I don't know what the NFL is going to do about this, but obviously it's the Saints. Roger Goodell's going to find the deepest punishment he can, probably fine him a bunch of money and ban him for like 6 games or whatnot because Roger Goodell hates the New Orleans Saints. I would have gave a slap on. I wouldn't call it a slap on the wrist. I'd just say maybe like, I don't know, maybe suspend him half a game.
I think you got to really figure out what happened. The video doesn't show much. It shows him getting arrested, but
they're going to investigate it.
Yeah, just doing a 70 and 35 wouldn't get you arrested. Something else had to happen.
Well, I don't think he was intoxicated. They never showed a toxicology report or anything like that. He must.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It didn't say anything about him being drunk. It didn't say anything about drugs. It just said he was arrested for doing 70 and 35 at night. But that doesn't lead you to get arrested.
I'm going to have to find more on that. But that's mainly the only news I have on him getting arrested. I mean, in the last couple of years, he's maybe the second or third Saint player that got Alvin Kamara with the whole Vegas issue.
Yeah, he got 3 games.
I thought it was more than that.
I thought he was gone for the first 3 or 4 games of the season, right?
It was like the first 3 or 4 game.
Yeah.
So the only report I got, this was from a ESPN staff writer. She said that wide receiver Chris Olave was arrested Monday night in Kenner, Louisiana, which is just outside of New Orleans, on suspicion of reckless operation. But she said police said Olave was driving 70 and a 35 on Joe Yeni Boulevard, which is described in a Kenner Police Department release as a mixed business residential area. And it says he was in a Dodge Charger, and Olave was observed traveling at the high rate of speed, recklessly maneuvering between lanes and around other drivers on the roadway, according to the police.
Okay, that makes sense. So they might have thought he was intoxicated for the way he was driving.
Now he was released Tuesday morning. He was released at 11:30 p.m. He was arrested and released the same night.
Same night. Okay, so then he wasn't drunk, because if they were drunk, he would have kept him. So I guess they got him reckless driving, I guess, as an arrest. I don't know.
Now, it doesn't say what his fate is this weekend, if he's going to still be able to play or if he's got to sit a game out. I mean, if it's a team like the Colts, I mean, if they would have been winning like they're supposed to, I'd just let him sit out as a punishment, like just a 1-game suspension, and then you come back for the Bears game. But I don't know what they're going to do. I'm
Right.
not Dennis Allen or Carmichael. Two
Yeah, I
guys.
mean they make self-imposed suspend them so before the league does.
No telling. So, do you have anything else from the NFL you want to bring up before we'll just run down and just go ahead and do NFL predictions before we move
No,
on?
just that the Patriots finally got a win, which I didn't think they were going to beat the Bills. Mac Jones actually played well. Didn't turn the ball over. Was actually pretty good putting the ball on target. The Bills are just head scratching. I'm not sure I'm not sure what's wrong with that team. I think they do need a secondary wide receiver now. Obviously, Gabe Davis, I don't think is it. They need to start running the ball a bit more. Josh Allen, the very first play of the game, threw a pick. It's like every week with him now. He's very bad with the ball. I don't know. For them coming in every year being like a top 3 Super Bowl favorite, they're just not it.
No telling with that. Like, you'd think they would at least be competitive. And we got Tim King. What's going on? Great time in sports
What up,
indeed.
Tim?
Be sure to check out the Tim King Show. Follow him on YouTube, and you can watch his show right here on the Fanatics Network's YouTube channel. New channel, I mentioned at the start. Go subscribe to it now if you want to check out the Tim King Show, as well as this one and many others. So let's go ahead and just do the NFL predictions now.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
On. So Thursday Night Football, lately these two teams had great starts, but now they've kind of been losing lately. Both teams took losses last week. So we got Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills.
I mean, you would say the Bills, but the Bills' last 3 games, a loss to Jacksonville, should have lost to the Giants. The pass interference call was not called. They lost 19. They won 19-14 there. And they just lost to the Patriots, who the Patriots haven't been beating anybody. They're getting blown out every single game. You know what? I'm going to take the Bucs. Fuck it.
We kind of need the Bucs to lose with the situation we're in right now. So I'm going to say Bills win close game. I think there might be some bad
I never know what Bills team nigga that's going to go out there.
Something tells me we're going to probably see bad calls again and everything. You know, the whole usual. So, moving on. Your Patriots in a division matchup again. They're on the road taking on the Miami Dolphins, who coming off a loss to the Eagles. Give me a key to victory in this for your Patriots on a score prediction. What you got?
Now, this is very interesting. I would go Miami Dolphins all the way because the Patriots never win in Miami. Tyreek Hill did not practice today. So apparently he's a hip injury. They don't know if he's going to play Sunday now. That sucks for me because I have him in fantasy. We played them close the first time. If Tyreek Hill does not, this is depending. If Tyreek Hill does not play, the Patriots win. If he plays, Miami wins big. So I know I got to pick one team. So you know what? I haven't been picking the Patriots. I'm going to pick the Patriots this week. Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, they needed that win last week, and they got it against the Bills, especially of all teams, the Bills. I mean, with this division rivalry, you know, New England dominated this one when y'all had Brady and whatnot. Miami has got a couple or two. Like I said, it all matters if Tyreek plays, but I think even if he don't play, I still think the Dolphins pull it off. I said close game. This will be another one that's going to be a nail biter. So
I agree.
Dolphins at home in a close one. So it's not even the preseason, but it's not often we get the you want to call it the Battle of New York or the Battle of New Jersey, the Battle of the Meadowlands, whatever you want to call it. Both teams who share the stadium. This time it's bragging rights. You got the green and white versus the blue and red or the blue and gray. You got the goddamn Jets versus the Little Giants. Who you got in this one for New York? How you doing, Miss Melissa?
How you doing, Melissa? So this is another interesting one. If Daniel Jones plays, I don't think the Giants win. Tyrod Taylor's been doing good. He's got 2 touchdowns in 2 games and more touchdowns than Daniel Jones has all season. If Tyrod Taylor plays, it'll be close, but I'll go Jets.
I'm picking the goddamn Jets too.
Yeah, I'll go Jets.
I mean, Daniel Jones is just not the guy. Maybe even if Eli was still playing, I probably would have still picked the Giants, but it's like Giants ain't really been the same since Daniel Jones took over. All right, this should be a good one here. Jags, Steelers, battle of running back. Travis Etienne versus Najee Harris. It's going to be a big one.
I'm going to go Jags.
You're going with the Jags. Okay.
Yeah, I'll go Jags.
I'm going to go with the Jags also. They look good against the Saints.
They look really good. Yeah, they look good.
All right. We got the Falcons against the Titans.
Falcons is against Titans. The Titans are bringing out those Oiler blue jerseys. This is another interesting
for Houston.
This is another interesting one because the trade deadline is next Tuesday. There are rumors of Titans blowing it up and putting everybody out there for trade. Derrick Henry, D-Hop, depending on if those players get traded, if they play or not. But they are starting the rookie QB also for the Titans. So I'll go Falcons this week.
I'm only picking the Falcons this week because as a middle finger to the Tennessee Titans, pissing off the Texan fans in the Houston
Oilers.
Taking the I feel like Houston should own. They can own the franchise all they want. They could say, "Oh, Warren Moon played for us," even though he played in Houston. Just give them that logo back. Give them colors back because it sucks they let the Houston colleges do it, but the Texans can't do it.
Right.
Like, remember week 1, the Houston Cougars, their first game as a Big 12 member, they rocked the Houston Oiler vibe. They did the whole "Love You Blue" vibe for their first game of the season, and Rice did it a couple of weeks later, which UH's was way better than Rice's, and I ain't saying that as a biased crosstown rivalry thing, but Cougs all the way. Y'all can have the baseball record franchise.
Yeah, the powder blue jerseys look good though. I saw pictures of them. They actually look pretty dope.
Speaking of Houston, we got the Texans at the Panthers.
Yes, the battle of the first and second overall picks in the draft. I'm still going to go Texans though. Texans win this one big.
Yeah, CJ Stroud is getting better. He's got targets. The Panthers, I don't know what the hell they need to just try and get a win or whatever they need to draft these days. I'm picking the Texans too. Tim King said CJ Stroud is the best Ohio State QB. So you think he's the all-time best QB to come out of Ohio State? That's kind so far.
You know what? He might be right. No Ohio State quarterback's ever done good in the NFL.
Look at JT
CJ
Barrett.
is starting out strong. He is. Tim is right. He is starting out strong. Right now, it looks promising. Like he'll probably be the best one to come out of the bunch. Fields went to Ohio State. No,
Justin Fields.
Okay,
yeah.
Justin Fields. I mean,
Stroud is better than Fields. I'll give you that. Wait, where's JT?
Throwing wise, yes, he's got better mechanics, better throw, more accurate. Right now, he is looking. I mean, it's kind of early to say he's the best so far, but right now it's looking like it's promising. Like, give him see how he finishes out this year. They look like they're gonna have a decent record, maybe not winning, but better than they're gonna be in the middle of the pack for a draft pick. But no, it's promising. He's definitely looked better than Justin Fields. I know that much.
Yeah, where's JT Barrett at? Maybe though I will say Ohio State. I will consider them as a linebacker university. They can have that because Penn State definitely ain't that. Tim King also said, "I'm talking about the last 15 years. Most have busted out. Fields has the potential to be better than Stroud for sure, but Stroud looks nice."
No, he's right. I agree. Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, I'll take that.
All right, we get the Rams at the Cowboys.
This is also an interesting one here. Cowboys at home coming off a bye week. I'm going to go Rams, though.
All right. As much as I always would love for the Cowboys to lose, something tells me they're going to probably win. It's a home game. Cowboys win a close one. Say that. This one, don't let the record fool you. Usually this division rivalry is always down to the wire, but we got the Vikings at the Packers.
Yes, Packers look bad. They lost to Denver last week. They lost the week before.
Oh, and
Vikings.
It's my toilet bowl, and it's my toilet bowl of the week. Even though it's
a toilet bowl of the week.
Vikings Packers is my toilet bowl of the week.
Okay, I can see. Yeah, I think I might agree with you. I'll take that as my toilet bowl of the week as well. The Vikings are 2-0 without Justin Jefferson. Go figure. Kirk Cousins is playing better without their number one receiver than with. I'm going to take the Vikings.
So I'm also picking the Vikings too. I don't know what's going on with Green Bay. They're just a complete dumpster fire right now. This is another one. This next one is another like division rival. You could throw the records away. They always play tough. The Eagles at the Commanders.
Yes, very true. You could throw records away, but the Commanders were terrible against the Giants last week, and the Eagles are going to blow them out. I don't see this being a close game at all.
Yeah, maybe maybe when they play them in Philly, it could be close, but on the road in DC, I can see them winning big. I don't think it'll be a shutout. I can see it maybe being like a 3-possession game or whatnot. The Eagles, even though they got that win, they're still like red hot. They're trying to be the best team in the NFC. So I'm gonna pick the Eagles.
Yeah, and they just made that trade for Bird from the Titans. Took the Titans' best DB. So I mean,
all right. Saints at the Colts. I'll let you take this one first.
Man, this is another interesting one, Marcus. Is Chris Olave going to play? It doesn't matter if he plays. In Indy coming off of that crazy loss last week, like I said, with the refs. Carr has not looked good. Alvin Kamara has basically been the best player running and receiving. I have to go Colts this week. There's just too much going on with the Saints for me to pick them.
Here's my thing. I think we've said it for weeks. I think Carr just give him a break. Let Jameis Winston take some snaps. I guarantee you they'll be a whole different team if you let Jameis Winston take the snaps. Even if I'm giving them one more chance. If they blow this game, I'm not picking them against the Bears. I may not even pick them for a while. They'll be like if I pick them against the Vikings.
Right.
Because they should have beat the Jags. They should have beat the Packers. There are teams they lost they should have beat. This is going to be one of the
they were up what 2 touchdowns on the Packers.
Yes. They blew they blew a big ass lead in that. I wouldn't call it a big ass lead, but their biggest lead in the whole game, which I think it was like a 17-point. They blew like 17-point lead.
Mm-hmm.
So Saints win, struggle win, but if they lose this game, I'm not picking them next week.
Yeah.
And probably the following week after. Who they played after that? They play the Vikings after that. So I won't pick them against the Bears. They better hope I don't pick them against the Vikings, and I don't see them beating the Falcons in the first game if they lose to the Colts. It's gonna be a long season for them. And I don't usually pick the Falcons over the Saints, but the way they've been playing, I don't see it happening.
Right.
All right. So don't let one of these teams fool you. But judging by this record, this will be my game of the week right here: the Cleveland Browns versus the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, Deshaun, I believe, is out again this week. Browns defense is really good. Seattle's defense is really good as well. I just think the Seahawks are going to have a little bit more offense, and they're playing at home. If this was at Cleveland, I think it goes differently, but you get that crowd atmosphere, that 6-man atmosphere. I'm going to go Seattle this game.
I got the Seahawks too.
Yeah.
This is my lock-in of the week. I got the Ravens over the Cardinals.
Yes, I'll take that too. Ravens over Cardinals. I don't think we got to talk about that. But then again, the Cardinals do surprise you at times. We thought it was a lock the week they played the Cowboys, and look what the hell happened. Granted, it's the Cowboys. But like the Ravens are one of those teams, though, Marcus, I think we talk about where teams, they play up to where they play good teams, like when the Lions are coming in 5-1, they got hyped for that. Then you'll get a team like when the Ravens played the Colts, and look what they'll happen. The Colts beat them. Like it's kind of like you play down to your competition. They're not. A lot of teams in the NFL this year are not consistently beating teams, whether bad or good. You can see Miami, the Dolphins, beat up on the bad teams. They haven't beat a team with a winning record yet. Same thing with the Cowboys. So it's kind of like, and the Ravens too. The Ravens are not. They're kind of in that thing. So I need them to play the same way that you play against a team that's 5-1 and you 38-6. You need to be able to beat up on the teams that suck 38-6. But I will agree with the Ravens pick as well.
This one, don't let that record fool you. Something I'm going to keep an eye on this. Chiefs at the Broncos. Watch Denver in this one now. I know they suck, but this is a division matchup. The Chiefs have always played the Broncos tough just as much as they played the Raiders tough or even the Chargers. Watch this game closely. Wouldn't be surprised if John Payton pulls this one off.
It's always close games, division games. It's just that Mahomes and Kelsey are playing on a different level. I mean, last week he had 143 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half. I mean, fucking insane. I still have to go Chiefs. I don't trust Denver.
Yeah, I'm picking the Chiefs too, but like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if they keep it close majority of the game, or at least for the first quarter at least. But just one of them games. Watch. Then we got the Bengals at the 49ers. So you got Joe Burrow versus Brock Purdy.
Yeah. No, Brock Purdy's out. So they're going to be starting Sam Darnold this week.
Oh, shit. I got the Bengals easy.
Yeah. So you got to get the Bengals. I think McCaffrey's going to have a big game probably. They're going to use him a hell of a lot. I don't know. I think Debo's out again at least one more week with that shoulder or whatever the hell's happening to him. But, yeah, I think this week the Bengals win. It's at San Francisco. It does play in, but I still go Bengals this week. Yeah.
So this is the last week of that so-called McCaffrey curse. Remember the last 3 or 4 years between weeks 6 through 8, Christian McCaffrey would get seriously injured. He's out for the season. If he can get past week 8, then he broke the curse.
He's got 16 straight games with a touchdown. That's a record, NFL record.
I think he has a big game, but Bengals pull it off in a close one.
Yeah, I think Bengals pull it off. I agree.
All right. Now, I don't know if the quarterback duos are out in this one, but Sunday Night Football, Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears against Justin Herbert and the LA Chargers.
The Chargers need to fire their coach already. Not understanding what's happening with them week to week. If Fields back or not, we don't know. The Chargers can't seem to win at home or on the road. If Fields is back, I'm going Bears. You know, I'm going to take the Bears anyway. Fuck it. I'm going to take the Bears.
Well, the fact that Brock Purdy is out, well, right now they have him questionable in fantasy. I'm going to pick the Chargers just because I need a win right now in fantasy football. I went 3-0 to losing 5 in a row. So I'm now 3-5 in fantasy right now. It is, or 3-4 actually. Could be potentially going 3-5. I am favored to win so far, but you know, shit happens.
Those projections don't mean shit. Yeah.
To me, they do. If I'm favored to win, I'm most likely going to win. If I'm losing, I'm definitely going to. If I'm favored to lose, I'm definitely going to lose. All right. Monday Night Football, Raiders, Lions in Detroit. I don't have much to say.
No, the Lions should beat the Raiders by 4 touchdowns this week.
The Lions,
you would think.
The Lions are pissed after getting humiliated by the Raiders.
Exactly. And they're at home. And I don't think Jimmy G's playing this week. It's probably going to be Hoyer or maybe the rookie. But no, the Lions have – if the Lions don't win this game by 4 touchdowns, something's up.
Yeah. Well, that does the NFL talk. We'll go to the other next real quick. Let's talk a little NBA real quick. Kind of the first time we're going to do a little majority talk. So they had it tipped off last night. It kicked off with the Lakers and the Nuggets. They had the ring ceremony, the banner presentation. The Nuggets rings are decent. I like them.
Yeah, they're nice. They pull out. They have that little instead of turning, this one pulls out like a little drawer. It's nice.
Someone posted a false picture that's saying this is what the ring was, but that was the fan ring. That wasn't the actual ring. Which it kind of fooled because I'm like, all these all these NBA rings the last 4 years were so gigantic and blinky or different colors. This one they're trying to go old school, but no, that was a fan ring. That was
no, this is the Nuggets' first championship. They're gonna go all out,
and they actually pretty decent. Well, they got a big win. The Lakers now lost 7 consecutive opening tip-off nights. They're now 0-7. But the Nuggets win 119-107. Now, LeBron did lead in scoring. He had 21 points in this game. He led in scoring for the Lakers. Anthony Davis, we thought they had him as going to be a breakout star in the game, but not even close. I mean,
he scored 1 point the whole second half and only had 1 rebound.
Taurean Prince scored more points than Anthony Davis, and he was the second leading scorer.
Austin Reeves had more rebounds than him.
Yeah. which on the Nuggets side, I mean, it's no surprise. The Joker, Yoki, led scoring at 29 points. What's his name? Is
Triple
it
double.
Jamal Murray? Yeah, Jamal Murray had a great night, 21 points. He had like 6 assists, 2 rebounds. He was 2 for 2 on the field. He was 8 out of 13 in a field goal. He was 3 for 5 in 3-pointers. So he had a hell of a night. Gordon had a great game as well, 15 points. He had 2 steals, 5 assists, 7 rebounds.
Yeah, I believe all their starting 5 scored in double figures. That's what it looks like.
So the other game, I was kind of shocked the turnout. The Suns pulled it off over the Warriors, 108-104. Now, is it because the Suns that good, or did the Golden State make a lot of errors? Because I'm shocked I didn't see the whole internet world blowing up saying, "Oh, the season's over. We lost the opener. Golden State ain't winning no championship. Chris Paul made a big mistake going to Golden State, trying to ring chase, and he ain't getting shit." Like, we didn't hear any of that. But
no, I mean, Chris Paul led the game in assists, 9 assists. Steph Curry had 27 points. Klay Thompson, 15. Andrew Wiggins, 10. Kuminga off the bench at 12. I mean, the Suns just had more scoring power. I mean, Devin Booker, 32 points. Durant, 18.
Yeah.
Nurk is 14.
Okogie, 17. Now, Gary Allen had 0 points. That shocked me the most, but I don't think he played a lot. Grayson Allen.
Bradley Beal, even though you notice, Bradley Beal didn't play last night for the Suns. And he's their big 3 star. He didn't play, from looking at here. So, and they still won without him.
But
I'm not sure what happened to him. I'm not sure if he's hurt. But he did not play.
Steph Curry, he led scoring for Golden State, 27 points. You think he did pretty bad in 3-pointers. He went 4 for 14 in 3 points.
Yep.
Which that's the reason on him. But, Chris Paul did pretty decent. Wiggins did decent. Klay Thompson did decent. I mean, I said, like, at the start of the season, I said that my NBA final prediction, I said it was going to be Golden State no matter what in the West. But I said the East was either going to come down to the Bucks or the Celtics.
Yeah, I don't see Golden State going back to the finals ever again, because the Nuggets are just too good. The Suns are really good. Then you have other teams in the West that are really good. The Sacramento's young, good. They took them to 7 games last year. I don't see the Warriors going back to the finals. I just don't see it.
See, here's my thing with the Suns. Yeah, I know they got a rich history of great players, like Charles Barkley and Steve Nash at one time and whatnot. But it's not that I don't hate the Suns. I hate their fan base with a fucking passion. Because you go back 2 years ago, the Pelicans played the Suns. They were talking all that shit like, "Oh, we're gonna sweep the Pelicans. We're Suns in 4." We drove them to 6 games, and we shocked them at home. I think it was either game 1 or game 2 where we shocked them like, "Come on, motherfuckers! Y'all said we're gonna go 4-0," and then they were bringing up Katrina shit, like talking, being despisable little shits. Like ever since then, I was like, you know what? Fuck the Suns. I said fuck the Suns, but no, fuck their fans. Their fans are the most naive. They remind me of, I don't know I wouldn't say the Bills, because I got nothing really against Bills Mafia, but it's like, the Suns fans are very passionate, but they act like they big and bad, but they don't have no championships to prove it.
Right.
But let's see. But I will say, I'll bring up real quick. What a night for the Pelicans. I'm hoping my main goal for the Pelicans is if Zion Williamson can play a full season.
Well, he looked to be in good shape tonight.
23 points.
23 points. He was the second leading scorer on the team behind CJ McCollum.
Yep. They win 111-104 against a division opponent, so that's a great start.
He played 32 minutes, so don't look like he had a minutes restriction. So, I mean.
No, and he 9 out of 9 field goals of 17. Let's see, he also had 7 rebounds. He didn't have no steals. He had 3 assists. Let's see, CJ McCollum had 24 points. Brandon Ingram had 19. Herb Jones had 13. Jonas Valanciunas had 12 points. They played a good solid minutes, and then you got to see guys like Nance Jr., Ryan, Hawkins, Daniels got to play a little bit too. So
I believe John Moran is suspended for the first 20 games, is it?
Something like that. I knew he wasn't going to play, but I figured that Bain was gonna be that main guy. Desmond Bain had a hell of a game tonight.
Hit 31 points, yeah.
So,
but without John Morant, they're not really. I mean, Marcus Smart, he's not a scorer, more of a defensive here. Zaire Williams, he's okay. But Bain's their best player. Jaren Jackson was supposed to be that guy at 8 fucking points. So, but with Ja being out those first 20, 25 games, they're gonna struggle.
Well, they have their home opener on Saturday. They host the Knicks. They are a heavy favorite at home. But what about Monday night? Monday night, they host Golden State.
No, wait, the Pelicans or the Grizzlies?
The Pelicans.
Oh, the Pelicans. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be – the Knicks lost tonight by 4 to Boston. I mean, those always are close games.
That's a good rivalry.
Yeah, I mean, Knicks are good. Knicks and Pelicans should be a really good game. Maybe Pelicans pull out. It is a home opener. I mean, the Knicks could – you can get whichever Knicks team you want, but, I mean, that should be a good game. Our Magic won tonight in Orlando, won by 20 over the Rockets. The Rockets suck.
Yeah, King's got a big lead right now with the Jazz, 93-78.
Yeah.
I don't know what the Rockets' problem is. It's like 4 or 5 years ago, they were like 2 years in a row, they were like a few games shy of going to the NBA Finals before
they had Harden, they had CP3, they had Westbrook at one point.
I think
Howard for a couple of years. Yeah,
I think James Harden's washed up.
Yeah, I think he's done there. They play tomorrow. The home open. They play at the Bucks home opener tomorrow. Bucks in Philly tomorrow.
Ooh, that should be a good one.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know.
Philly told James Harden to stay home, not to travel with the team. They don't want him with the team.
Yeah. Well, I guess you can also say you could say maybe the Brooklyn Nets. You can call them the LSU North of basketball because they got Ben Simmons, Cam Thomas, and Trendon Watford. So I kind of wish I still had a Nets jersey, but the last Nets jersey I owned was Kevin Durant, and I got rid of it in a heartbeat when he went to Phoenix. Like probably the only jersey I'll never own of KD was the Phoenix Suns jersey. It was hard enough to get a Golden State jersey at the time. And I said I would never root for a California team, but I like Steph Curry. So I ended up getting a Kevin Durant Golden State jersey for a bit. I once was a big Thunder fan. I'll kind of give you my little history lesson as a basketball fan. Like I watch basketball religiously, like I watch football and baseball, because I come from a school where we're known for basketball. My alma mater, all our championships are in basketball. We're always mediocre in football. We're shit in baseball. We're shit in softball. All our other championships come from like powerlifting and track. Or cross country, a lot of schools get that shit too. But like, out of like the most popular sports, our main one is basketball. Like we've got district championships all across. We got our boys basketball team has 18 district titles. Our girls basketball team is 17, not far behind. Our boys have been in the state championship, I think twice, but they've never won state. But our girls have been like 3 or 4 times, but they've won like 2 out of 4. But our girls made 6. We call our state tournament Marsh Madness, not Marsh, because we're in the swamp. Our girls in the last 10 years have been to 6 Marsh Madnesses out of 10, but they've played in 2 championships and won 1 out of 2. And here's the thing: from 2014 to 2023, every team except 2021, because that was the year we won state. Every team that eliminated us from 2014 to 2023 won state that year.
That's crazy.
So
the high school I came from is different. We sucked in basketball. It was all football. Warren Sapp went to Apopka. Brandon Mayweather went to Apopka. And also the Philly number 1 overall, their first round pick from Georgia went to Apopka. But it's always been football. And also Zach Greinke played for our baseball team. He went to Apopka. So we got a long line of good players that went to Apopka, but they're all state. My high school is just state football all the time. They're always ranked in the state in the top 3 of Apopka High School.
Where do y'all
suck in basketball?
Where do y'all usually play y'all state title games? Like at the Citrus Bowl?
It depends. It depends. If it's in Orlando, it's at Camping World, or it could be somewhere in Miami. Some Miami team we play. Yeah.
Hard Rock Stadium.
Yeah. I don't know. Not Hard Rock. More of a smaller. If they have a secondary, because they usually play at Camping World.
I figured,
Yeah.
I figured y'all would go play like either in Miami or y'all go to Raymond James in Tampa or even go to Jacksonville.
Right.
Because
I know they've played in Camping World a bunch of times.
now, and what, the winning team goes to Disney World after that? Now, it's simple for us. For football, they play the state championships in the Superdome, of course. They play there. Basketball, everyone thought they would go to the Smoothie King Center or something. No, we play them in college venues. Like sometimes it's mainly in my area. Lafayette used to host it at the Cajun Dome when I was in high school. When Lake Arthur went to March Madness, it was in the Cajun Dome. Like we went like 3 years in a row. We went, but we lost in like the semifinals. Like my 7th grade through freshman year, we went 3 years in a row and we lost in the semifinals 3 years in a row. So it's nice to see that experience. Like my sophomore year, we didn't get past, I think, the second round. My junior and senior year, we got knocked out in the second round. But I didn't play basketball. That was the only sport I watched and knew, but I couldn't play worth a shit. Like I've tried out for the basketball team, but I was the worst double dribbler. I always traveled.
No, I was a basketball player. When I was in New York, I played basketball and baseball. When I came to Florida, I played basketball. I played basketball for the middle school team, the high school team. Basketball was the sport that I loved to play.
Mine was baseball, but I mean, I played football too. Football and baseball were mainly my two in powerlifting. Our football coaches made everybody run track because they were like, we need to get y'all bigger. We were in that BFS program, bigger, faster, stronger. So but basketball was the only sport I didn't play because I sucked at it as a kid. Always traveling.
Fucking loved it.
Couldn't shoot worth a fuck. I still can't shoot worth a shit. But I've watched it so much. I've know the penalties. I know the calls. I know how to call a basketball game. I just couldn't play it as a kid. But I'm trying to think of an idea of I wouldn't call it like predictions. I might do a segment with the NBA this season, like maybe like your top 3 primetime matchups you're looking forward to in the week or something.
Top three games of the week.
I'd say primetime, like if it's on TNT or ESPN. So for me, I'll say let's see, tomorrow night they only got 2 games tomorrow night. They got Sixers, Bucks, and Suns and the Lakers. Both are on TNT. I'll put the Sixers and the Bucks on the list. Friday, we got a big slate of games, but Friday's ESPN night. I will add on this one. I might add both these games on this list. Heat Celtics on Friday. That's going to be a hell of a game to watch. And I'm going to throw the Warriors and the Kings. I think we're going to see if Golden State's really that good or will the Kings expose them and they'll go 0-2.
I'll take the Bucks. Bucks and Sixers would be number 1 because obviously want to see Giannis and Dame play together. And Friday, let's see. Yeah, Heat Celtics and Kings Warriors. Yeah, the rematch from the first round of the playoffs last year. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to those. I'll definitely be. Now, I won't be able to watch Friday's games. We have a football game, but I'll definitely be checking out the highlights on Sports Center, especially anything that involves the Kings and the Warriors. So I'm trying to see who do the Kings still got that they still got Trey Lyles. Well, he's out.
They still got everybody from last year on the team. They have a stacked team. They got Sabonis. They got everybody.
Yeah, but Trey Lyles and Jalen Slauson is out. I don't know how long they're out till, but their 2 forwards are out. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to throw a couple more things out in the other before we get to college football talk. So, unfortunately, it's been a rough 48 hours for me. For the baseball people, the World Series is locked in. It will be the Texas Rangers versus the Arizona Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks are looking for their first World Series since 2001. The Rangers are trying to get their first ever, where they've went back-to-back in 2010 and 2011, and they failed, shockingly, against the Giants and against the Cardinals. This one hurt a lot for me. Now, here's the thing. If it had been another team, I would have rather losing to go to the World Series to a team like if they were that good, like the Yankees or something, or the Red Sox.
Red Sox, or Tampa, somebody like that.
Not your fucking in-state rival. Not the team that's 4 hours away from you that hates you more than the Dodgers do. or the rest of the MLB world. That one was the hardest one to swallow. And of all the three World Series losses too, to the White Sox to the Nationals and the Braves, this hit harder than those three losses combined, and those were for the World Series title.
Right. Now, question: this is probably going to be one of the lowest rated watch World Series. It has to be. Nobody expected the fucking Rangers and Diamondbacks.
I was hoping the Phillies would have won. The Philly always has this bad luck of trying to get to a championship or even winning one in the last year and a half. I mean,
they were horrible Game 7.
Every single Philly team. The Eagles couldn't win a Super Bowl. The Union couldn't win the MLS Cup. The Phillies couldn't win the World Series. The Sixers couldn't even get a deep run in the playoffs. The Flyers just not even making the playoffs in in NHL. It's just it sucks being a Philly fan. I mean, right now it's nice being an Eagles fan because they're the number one team in the NFC right now. They have a chance to go back and hopefully win a second one, unless the curse continues. But I'm gonna say just keep it short and sweet. I'm gonna pick the Diamondbacks in 7 games to win the World Series.
Okay, I'll go Rangers since I think I did pick them to beat the Astros because once they went up. 3 games, and then obviously Astros came back and made it a Game 7. But I don't really Diamondbacks. I don't watch them. Rangers I kind of know a little bit better, so I'll just go the Rangers, I guess, in 6.
I don't know what the Diamondbacks have, but I know the Rangers got people that could swing the ball, and they got an outfield like no other. Except I can't stand Garcia, that little crybaby. So I'll let you start off the college football side because the whole talk all week, you want to talk about the Astros stealing signs or banging a trash can. Now supposedly Michigan has hired somebody and got somebody traveling to different Big Ten matchups and stealing signs and whatnot. It's all I saw. College game day was in Columbus last Saturday. All I saw was the hatred to Michigan. Ohio State fans are holding up signs saying, I have this because Harbaugh stole my sign, or Jim Harbaugh stole my other sign, or just rubbing it in their face. Michigan got the win over the weekend, but that's not the main talk.
That's not the main topic. Yeah, that's not the main topic.
I don't know if they're going to try and do what they can to not even make sure they make the playoffs because, God forbid, I did have Michigan winning it all this year, but if Michigan were to win it with all this going on, they're going to think, they cheated to win this championship and whatnot. But you said you wanted to talk about
okay.
Go ahead.
So what's funny with this whole stealing signs, whatever, them going to games, the only thing I think that they could get Jim Harbaugh on, because if you look at it, they've asked every single coach about this week. Stealing signs, Michigan. Every coach did not give a shit. Matt Rule said, listen, I don't care. He's like, honestly, I didn't know this, Marcus. College football is the only football, whether high school or NFL, that do not allow technology on the sidelines. Headsets, tablets, shit like that. High school does. NFL does. College does not. That's why they have those damn signs and the rock star and the rock and throwing up different shit. Matt Rule was like, listen, you guys are doing.
I don't understand what they mean. Like you can have like a picture of Tom Brady on the top left corner.
Yeah.
On the top right, you'll have a shit emoji on the bottom left. You might have a boombox, and on the right, you got a colon or something.
Yeah,
like I don't.
Matt Rule said, listen, okay, but you know what? Anybody can steal a sign. You can look on the sideline and try to steal signs. He's like, guess what? Maybe if you give us if you want to get these kids ready for the NFL quarterbacks, let them have a mic in their headset and give us a tablet so we can relay messages. But for some reason, college football doesn't want that. Deion Sanders said today, look at this in his interview. You can have someone's whole game plan. They can mail it to you. You still got to stop it. So I don't think coaches care. Dude, this is widespread in college football. No? Am I wrong?
See that sign in the far corner over there?
What's that say?
I stole that one. I'm stealing signs myself. It says,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think the coaches care. The only thing I think they'll get Harbaugh on is paying people to fly to different games, as if this was like an elaborate scheme.
Well,
to pay people.
Don't you pay like NFL scouts to fly to come watch your players?
Well, the thing about it is, I don't know. I think the people, what I'm hearing is there's a guy whose name is Connor Stallions, who's a former Marine, who's been going to these games, allegedly. And it's allegedly stealing the signs. I guess they went to 8 Ohio State games within the last 2 to 3 years. I don't believe the people that are going out to the games are necessarily employees of the Michigan football team. I think that's where they could probably get him on. It's the only thing I can see they could get him on, is that he's hiring these random spies from the Marines and shit like that to go spying and steal signs. That's the only thing they're going to get him on. And if they do get him on that, Marcus, I'll tell you this: he's done. Yeah. He's got to leave Michigan. He's got to go.
Yeah,
he's got to go.
Now, I mean, stealing signs can be pointless. I mean, if you want to know what they're doing, watch their fucking game films.
Yeah, it's pointless. That's what I don't understand. It's What? He's stealing signs for Illinois, in Michigan State? Like, really, bro? Give me a fucking break.
I mean, we know who the flagship university is.
Yeah,
in that state.
It's just weird. Like, I think the only thing they're going to be able to what they'll get him on is this person is not employed by Michigan nor the university.
Yeah, he's not a scout or whatever. So he had no access to do what other people have.
Exactly.
Right.
I believe that's what it's going to end up being. Because obviously I'm reading all the coaches' replies because, they're going to ask every single coach about it. No coach said, oh, that's fucked up. Every coach is like, okay, and like you could watch TV. You could look at our sign from across the field and steal our signs.
See, 6 years ago, with the whole Astros cheating scandal, stealing signs or banging trash cans. At least they, unlike teams like the fucking Yankees or the fucking Red Sox, who cheated too, the following year, Dodgers got beat by cheaters back-to-back years. We're the only team. We're the only ones who ever admit we did it and we apologize for it. We do the right thing or people are still going to bitch about it. That's why I can't despise people like that. Like, move the fuck on. It's been 6 fucking years since we do that. We actually won one a year ago without cheating, but We're still going to be living in the fucking past. So for the fact is, you're going to keep talking like that. I'm going to keep bringing up the fucking steroid trial shit with fucking A-Rod and Jeter.
I think college football is out to get Harbaugh this year for some odd reason.
Obviously, they don't like Harbaugh. Why?
They don't like him. I'm not sure. You see, at the beginning of the year, they had to do a self-imposed suspension because in 2020, Harbaugh met with a couple of recruits at a Burger King and bought them cheeseburgers, and all of a sudden they suspended him 3 years later. And now this sign stealing shit, something's going on. They don't like him. They want him out. I don't know what it is. It's just weird. Like, Marcus, why do you think college football doesn't allow technology on the sidelines, but they do in high school and NFL? I don't get it.
Because college football is more popular than the NFL or high school. They're doing what they can to bring money down, and they don't want any fuck-ups like that.
You would think they would give them a tablet and just like
they don't need it. With the talent they got, they don't need that shit. College got more. I mean, they might not have more money than the NFL, but they got enough money to do what they can. Why the fuck
right. Yeah, it seems like they must have something on Harbaugh because Big Ten's talking about it, NCAA's talking about it, so something's probably going to come down, I would assume, before the Ohio State game. I think he might be suspended or gone.
Yeah. But, one more. I forgot to bring this up. I'm going to say a quick thing on this before we get back to the college football talk. Speaking of the Astros, Dusty Baker announced a few hours ago he's retiring, which 26 years. He got 2 championships. He got one as a player, and he got one as a manager. He won one for the Astros last year. Definitely a legend. Thank you, Dusty, for all you've done for the city of H-Town, especially bringing us to back-to-back World Series for the first time in franchise history. Even though we didn't get both of them, we did get 1 out of 2. But
man, he could have had one. Now he did coach the Cubs, right? Too, right?
I'm gonna have to pull his.
I believe he coached the Cubs when Sosa was there. I believe.
What's up, Matty Daddy?
What's up, Matty? I believe he almost had him with the Cubs during that run with, where the Bartman catch. I believe he was coaching that team.
While I pull up his resume, give us a little recap. So, you said no one. He said, "Thank you, Matty Daddy." You said they didn't give a fuck what people thought about the whole science scandal. They were about kicking Michigan State's ass, and they did just that. Y'all, Here's one thing we had in common this week: both our schools shut our teams out over the weekend. Y'all won 49-0. The Paul Bunyan Trophy staying in Ann Arbor. While I pull up Dusty Baker's resume,
Michigan, J.J. McCarthy at 21 of 27, 287 yards, 4 touchdowns passing. Blake Corum, 15 carries, 59 yards, 1 touchdown. A.J. Bronner, 8 receptions, 99 yards, and 1 touchdown. So, I mean, I did say they were going to win big. I was thinking like 52-7, but 49-0 is the same exact shit.
Okay, so Dusty Baker, he's played for 4 different teams, but as a manager, he was a manager for 5 different teams. But as a player, he did win a World Series with the Dodgers in '81.
Did he coach the Cubs?
He coached the Cubs from 2003 to 2006. So he started his career with the Braves. He played with them from 68 to 75. He played with the Dodgers from 76 to 83, won a World Series with them. Played 1 season with the Giants, and he played 2 seasons with the A's. Then as a manager, he became a manager in 1993. He was a manager for the Giants for a good while, from 1993 to 2002. He was with the Cubs from 03 to 06. Then he was with the Reds for 5 years, from 08 to 2013. He was with the Nationals for 2 seasons back in 2016 and 17. He had a 3-year absent. But now also as a coach, he coached the Giants from 88 to 92 before he got promoted to a manager. And he came to the Astros in 2020. Since he was there, he brought them to the pennant every single year. Now, he did not win it in 2020, and he didn't win it this year. And the only thing that will not look good on his resume, he's never won a Game 7.
I mean, he's got a World Series as a coach, though. That's all that matters.
He's got 2 championships. He's got 1 as a player and 1 as a manager.
Yeah.
So Dusty is an icon. I do definitely see him getting his name called up in what's that town in New York where the Baseball Hall of Fame is? Damn, I forgot. Dan Boyo told me. Maybe Matty Daddy can tell us while he's on here. But, yeah, so Michigan got the big win at home, 49-0 over Michigan State. Paul Bunyan Trophy stays in Ann Arbor. So LSU welcomed in a very interesting opponent, only for the second time Cooperstown, New York. There you go. So LSU brought in Army. This was a second ever meeting between the two, but this was the first time ever they came to Tiger Stadium, and they were welcomed with open arms. I was actually very impressed with our student section because I've told you, any other opponent, Florida can get ready. They had to take a break doing it with Army coming to town. They were not chanting, kick their ass and beat the shit out of them after the 3 Go Tiger chants.
They conducted themselves with class. Hey,
they did not do the you suck after the extra point. They were quiet for it while the band still played music. They did not play neck. That was shockingly the biggest shock to me. They didn't tell them suck that tiger dick, bitch. But this is what impressed me the most. When Army took the field, they got a louder ovation than LSU did.
As they should.
And it was awesome. I forgot what player it was. There's a guy on the roster who he's a member of the Army. They let him come out first with the American flag while in full gear, in football gear. That was another cool moment. And seeing the end zones painted camouflage.
Yeah, that was dope.
That was absolutely great.
I see your boy Brian Thomas had a Randy Moss versus Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day game.
Oh man. Shit. Man, Brian Thomas.
What the hell?
So he had 3. He only had 3 receptions.
Yo, that's insane.
122 yards, but 2 touchdowns. This is what shocked me here. The leading rusher was only a freshman, and it was his first ever time playing on the field. There's a guy, he was a 5-star recruit. He was the number 1 recruit in the state. His name is Trey Holly. He come from Union Parish. He's known in his town. They call him the Trey Holly Show because every game he averaged about 400 to 500 yards a game in his home, like his senior year, even in the state championship, even though they lost the state title game. They call him the Trey Holly Show. And when he made his commitment to LSU, I was so excited. I said, I finally get to see this kid play. And now I was upset. I did not get to see him play. We left after halftime because we were up big. We won 62-0.
Yeah.
They were ready to go. I said, okay, let's go. Well, I'm listening to it on the radio on the way back, and then I hear Trey Holly takes the field. I said, okay, I'll pull my phone out. I wasn't driving. My mom drove. I'm watching the game on my phone, and by the third play, that boy ran like a track, like it was a track meet, like it was a relay.
6 carries, 91 yards. That's insane.
91 yards.
And on the other side, it took Kanye Udo 21 carries just to get 108 yards. That's wild.
But Jaden Daniels, 11 completed passes out of 15, 279 passing yards. He did get 3 touchdowns. But you also had the backup in Garrett Nussmeyer, a former Lake Charles boy who moved to Dallas. He had a decent game, 7 completed passes out of 12 for 89 yards. He did get 1 touchdown pass. Malik Neighbors had a hell of a game, 121 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. LSU had 368 passing yards total and 202 rushing yards in the game with Army. So then on defense, 71 total tackles, 25 solo. Greg Penn III with a sack, and tackles for loss, they had 5. So perfect outcome before. Now they're on a bye week, no game this week. So I'm not going to watch as much college this week. I'm going to take a little bye week myself. I might watch maybe like 1 or 2 games, but I'll be ready for when they play Alabama next week. Yep. Maybe a potential college game day location because it'll be a top 15 matchup at least. LSU jumped to 15. I think Alabama jumped to like number 11 after their win over Tennessee. I think Alabama did jump to 11.
Man, we thought UCF was going to get blown out, and they played strong.
What? I didn't watch that game. What the shit, Oklahoma?
31-29, dude. What the hell?
Our two new teams had struggled with. Texas struggled with Houston.
That's crazy.
But this is the thing. Penn State pissed me off. They got showed out by Ohio State. Ohio State, even though it was a close game, I didn't think Penn State played their best. Alabama struggled with Tennessee. That was a lucky comeback.
UNC losing to Virginia? What the fuck?
Virginia's first time beating a top 10 opponent on the road in school history.
Florida State did what they did to Duke, won by 18, which we
USC losing back to back. I called it.
We both called Utah. We both called it.
Now
Todd picked USC.
Okay, there's 2 things I need to talk about. Washington, you can't be. I know you just had a hell of a game with Oregon the week before. You can't get a struggle win over Arizona State like that.
15 points.
Number 5 in the country. If you're trying to make a statement to teams like Georgia, Michigan, and Florida State, you cannot beat Arizona State like this. You should have beat them like 55-7 or something.
I'll tell you, a lot of good teams struggled this week.
I have something I want to talk about. We got to talk about this. The outcome of that Minnesota-Iowa game, the so-called fair catch,
was not a fair catch. He was trying to tell his players to move out of the way so he can get the ball.
Oh, if that's the case, then they got screwed because they always say if you do this, that you don't have to wave. If you just wave your arms like this, it's called a fair catch. I've talked to our coaches about this while we were getting ready for our game this week. I brought that up. I said, hey, the outcome of that Michigan-Iowa game, is that a fair catch? They said, yep. If you wave your arms, you don't have to do this. If you do this, that's a fair catch. It don't matter if you're telling them to move. You should have said Peter. That's what we tell our players. If we're punting the ball and you don't want them to go after it, you holler Peter and you get the fuck away from it.
Yeah, I saw it. It didn't. The thing about it is the refs and nobody threw a flag saying that it was a fair catch. The refs didn't call fair catch. They didn't blow a whistle or nothing. They let the play go. So how do you let the play? How do you let if it was a fair catch? Usually they blow the whistle dead because you fair catched it.
Wasn't that an ACC official that called that game?
Yeah, like so if it's a fair catch, you usually hear a whistle or a hat gets thrown or something.
And
they let the play go.
That was their fault.
So if you let the play go, that's it. You gotta let it stand. You gotta let it. Whatever happens, happens.
Well, Minnesota got lucky on that one. Now Iowa's probably knocked out the top 25. They already want their coaches gone because of that shit. They already want I'm pretty sure them refs had hell getting out of Kinnick Stadium, getting probably threatened and harassed for not calling it not the right way and shit. But let's see what else. I'm actually just looking at top 25 right here. I watched a bit slate of games on this past Saturday on my way to Baton Rouge. There was some. Was that a damn baseball game with Arkansas and Mississippi State?
That's what it looks like.
Look at the score. 7-3. That's a baseball score. That ain't no deep. That was the shit game of the week right there. That wasn't no defensive battle. That's just two shitty ranked SEC West teams that Mississippi State ended up getting a struggle win.
I'm still shocked that UCF made this a game. That's what I'm really shocked about.
I'm shocked too.
I was surprised.
I'm shocked too, and I didn't even watch it. Maybe another mistake I made. Locking in TCU over Kansas State, and TCU didn't even get in the end zone.
Nope. I think we both picked TCU.
Miami Clemson.
UCLA demolished Sanford.
Miami Clemson. I thought was probably the game of the week. That was a hell of a matchup. Double overtime. Miami pulled it off. Clemson. I think Dabo lost like 3 now or 4 now.
Yeah, they're done. They're not even going to be in the ACC title game at this point. Probably going to be FSU and I would say North Carolina or Louisville.
Yeah, watch Louisville.
Yeah.
So, this may be a possibility. Clemson probably could lose back-to-back.
It's possible.
All right, so we're over the hour mark. Let's go ahead and predict college.
Get the predictions.
So, I put a few slated games on here. Let's see. I did put one Thursday night matchup. I guess maybe, they were probably a rivalry in basketball, but this is only the 10th total meeting between these two, Georgia State and Georgia Southern.
I'm not really too familiar with either team, but I'm going to take Georgia Southern.
You're going with Georgia Southern? So
yeah. Georgia
State won the last 3. Georgia State got to play us the week before Thanksgiving. It's going to be our purple game. I'm going to go with Georgia State.
Okay.
In this one. I think they're both in the Sun Belt too. So it's a conference matchup. All right. Houston hung in with Texas but didn't get the win. But the Cougars, they're going on the road to play Kansas State in Manhattan.
Kansas State.
Let's see. Kansas State's 5-2. Houston's 3-4. But Houston fought with Texas, even though they didn't get it done. If this would have been in Houston, I would have gave them a chance, but I'm going to take Kansas State at home.
Yeah, go on Kansas State.
All right. Florida State at Wake Forest.
Florida State.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about that. I'm picking Florida State too. I still have them going 12-0, winning the ACC, and then we'll see what their fate is in the playoffs. Everyone's saying this could be a sneaky game, especially the way they struggled with UCF, but Oklahoma on the road at Kansas.
Yeah, Oklahoma at Kansas. They did struggle against UCF. I'm still going to go Oklahoma, but, man, these ugly wins. I know teams are winning, but it's ugly. But I'll still go Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, 1 possession.
Okay, I can see that.
I don't even know why I put this on there. I think just because they have been talking about one particular player on this team that not even seen the field just because of his last name, but you know who I'm talking about. Indiana at Penn State.
Penn State.
Yeah, Penn State's pissed after losing to Ohio State like that. gonna be back home. It's probably a whiteout. It's an early kickoff, but I mean I think they still always have whiteouts no matter the time in Happy Valley. So I'm gonna take Penn State. South Carolina at Texas A&M.
Texas A&M.
It's in College Station. A&M won. This is only the 10th total meetings. They have never crossed paths until Texas A&M joined the SEC.
Right.
And South Carolina has only beaten them one time, and it was last year. A&M won eight. A&M won 8 in a row.
A&M should win. They should.
I got A&M winning. All right, let's see if this team can get over the hump and finally get a Big 12 win. But West Virginia at UCF.
All right, I'm going to go UCF this week. Played Oklahoma strong, build off that, and get a win.
I'm going to go with UCF too. I'll give them a chance. West Virginia kind of been struggling a bit. I think ever since the Hail Mary loss to Houston kind of just like gave them their downfall. It's just going to get worse for them. So I'm going to give you – then UCF can finally say, oh, I want a Big 12 matchup. Beat the non-geographical team of the Big 12. All right. Textile Bowl, they call this rivalry. This maybe could determine Dabo's fate, but we've got Clemson at North Carolina State.
You know what? I'm going to go North Carolina State. I'm going to say they lose back-to-back games.
Ooh, okay. So North Carolina State only won 3 of the last 20 meetings. Clemson had dominated this rivalry. And they're on the hot. I think Dabo's on the hot seat. If he don't pull this off.
Yeah, he might be looking to jump to the NFL.
But I'm going to go with Clemson in a close one.
Okay.
All right. Georgia at Florida. Didn't they call it, what was it, the biggest cocktail party? Or I don't know what they call this rivalry anymore, but it's Georgia, Florida. And, of course, they always play this game in Jacksonville at TIA Bank Stadium or whatever it's called now.
Georgia.
Georgia,
but it's going to be close, though, because Georgia's not looking like a number 1 team.
And Florida always played them tough.
Right.
Georgia's won 6 of the last 10. Give them the 7th in the last 10. I'm going with Georgia. BYU at Texas.
Texas.
I'm not gonna let those records fool, but I think Texas is gonna beat them big. Like take BYU. Yeah, they're 5-2, but Texas is number 7. They're 6-1. I don't see Texas losing another game until possibly the Big 12 championship if they make it, but Texas wins big. All right, College Game Day is going to Salt Lake City, Oregon at Utah.
Might be a game, one of the games of the week.
This one's tough.
Yeah. Fuck. You know what? I'm gonna go Utah.
So, let me look at this real quick because I don't know if the Pac-12 still the fact that this is their last year. Are they still splitting them north and nope? It is completely open.
It's over. Yeah,
it's open. Yeah. So just for that, I want a rematch in the Pac-12 championship. I'm picking Oregon because I want a rematch with Oregon and Washington.
Okay.
This time they play for a conference championship. Because at first I had Utah and Washington in the Pac-12 championship. Now I think I'm going to change it to a rematch since it's all open now. Pitt at Notre Dame. And I'm picking Notre Dame too, but I don't get how is this even a rivalry.
Me neither. It's not even, I don't get it either.
But Notre Dame won the last 3 meetings as a top 5 seed. And right now, they're not even in the top 5.
Nope, they're number 14.
So that's like another big letdown. But you can thank Ohio State for that and whoever else they lost to. So I got Notre Dame in this one. This is going to be a good one, I think. Duke at Louisville. Yes,
another game of the week. I'm going to go Louisville because I think Louisville's going to keep the ball rolling, and I think you're going to get either them or North Carolina versus FSU in the ACC title game.
I think if Louisville could pull this off, then I can consider them as a ACC championship contender against Florida State. So I'm going to take Louisville just because it's in Louisville.
Yep, I'm going to take them.
Here, Mississippi State at Auburn.
Ooh. No, I'm going to go Mississippi State.
Yeah, Auburn really, really needs a win here. They haven't looked looked good recently. They already lost 4 in a row, 4 SEC games in a row. They lost to A&M, they lost to Georgia, they lost to us, and they lost to Ole Miss. But Mississippi State won the last 2 meetings, but Auburn hasn't beaten Mississippi State at home in 4 years. It's be all end all for Auburn. It's going to be one of them close games. It's at Jordan-Hare. It's an early kickoff. Give me Mississippi State.
Yeah, I'm going to say Mississippi State. Yeah,
give me the Cowbells. So I threw in another MAC game here. What all eyes could be on this one? Miami, Ohio, at Ohio.
Miami, Ohio, at Ohio.
So it Bobcats versus what are they? The Red Hawks or something?
I'll go Miami of Ohio.
Okay, I'm only picking the Ohio Bobcats is because I've had the pleasure to go to Athens, Ohio, while I was on vacation in Cincinnati, and I got to see. That's where Joe Burrow's dad was the offensive coordinator at the time. So I got to see the stadium. It's really nice. The campus is a decent size. It's not super big. It's not super small. Athens is a nice little town in the fall. It's really cold up there too. So I'm gonna go with the Bobcats.
Okay.
I've seen their stadium and everything up close to. I snuck inside it and got some videos and everything of it. Marshall at Coastal Carolina.
Well, Marshall took an L last week. Coastal Carolina.
Yeah. Now, Coastal did get 3 losses. I feel like they play better at home down there in Myrtle Beach. I love Marshall, but, I mean, I don't know what's going on with the Herd lately. As long as they can make a bowl game, I don't care which one it is, as long as it's not the Bahamas Bowl. But I'm going to go.
Maybe they'll make the new bowl called the Gronk Bowl.
A Gronk Bowl? They got a bowl named
after. He's the first former player, if anything, to have his own bowl, right? The Gronk Bowl.
Well, let me guess. Are they playing it like either in Tucson, where he went to college, or are they going to play it like in Tampa?
I'm not sure where it's at, but he's the sponsor of the bowl.
The Gronk Bowl. I'm gonna go with Coastal Carolina. I'm gonna look this shit up. It's in LA. It was the LA Bowl hosted by Gronk.
Yeah.
So Jimmy Kimmel hosted it. Like it's hosted by a celebrity.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right.
The LA Bowl hosted by Gronk because it was hosted by Jimmy. Stifle hosted it the first year. Jimmy Kimmel hosted it the following year. So it's like every year someone hosts.
Somebody hosts. Okay, that makes sense. All right.
So it's still the LA Bowl. So it's in LA at SoFi. It's a Mountain West versus a Pac-12 team that can play in this.
Okay.
So Coastal can't play in it. Coastal's Sun Belt, and Marshall is too, so they won't be able to play in that game. It's Mountain West versus Pac-12. Maybe USC can play in it the way they've been playing.
Possibly.
Washington at Stanford.
Washington. Stanford sucks.
Same here. And same thing with have you seen the Heisman talk lately? Now they got, not with Michael Penix Jr., they got Jaden Daniels in the talk.
Mm-hmm.
Bo Nix is in the talk. The quarterback from Oklahoma is in the talk.
So the Heisman is wide open right now.
Yeah, because Caleb Williams ain't definitely winning another one.
No, he's not getting it. No way.
All right. Maybe one of the biggest lump-sided rivalries in the SEC. We got Tennessee at Kentucky.
Yeah, Tennessee.
This is how lump-sided. Tennessee leads this rivalry series 82-26-9. Kentucky has only won this game 26 times.
That's crazy.
Tennessee won 8 of the last 10. They're about to win a 9th. So, Rocky Top. And they're mad because they couldn't beat they couldn't beat Alabama last week. All right. You want to talk about lopsided? This Ohio State at Wisconsin.
Ohio State by 60.
Ohio State won 9 straight against Wisconsin. 3 of those were for the Big Ten championship. They go win 10 in a row. Ohio State, unfortunately, wins this one. It's at Camp Randall, though. Wisconsin fans could make it interesting. The fact that it's also a night game, so then Wisconsin, they're going to be tailgate. I don't know how they tailgate in Wisconsin, but they are going to be ready. When it's the fourth quarter and you hear jump around, they're going to be jumping around.
Depending on the score in the fourth quarter, it may not be nobody even there.
All right. Colorado at UCLA.
Man. Do I see Colorado losing again?
And UCLA is a heavy favorite.
Right. You know what? This week I'm going to go Colorado.
I'm going to take UCLA.
Okay.
Just for the hell of it. With 2 more games left, and we're going to call it a night. Or I didn't even realize they were ranked this high. Oregon State is number 11 in the country all of a sudden.
Yep, I see that. Yeah.
Who?
Arizona.
Golly, who did? Was it the? It had to have been the win over Utah that got them that high.
Yes, I would assume.
Because they started off, they were 16 in the country. Then when they went undefeated, they were undefeated for a while. Then when they lost to Washington State. But after that, they never lost another game. They're 6-1. But it was that win over Utah that changed the game. And then they beat Cal. They beat UCLA. So they could – I'm not saying they could be a potential contender. But when they have the Civil War with Oregon, that could be an interesting one to watch. But I got Oregon State big.
Yeah, I'll take Oregon State too. Yeah.
But remember, Arizona gave struggle wins. Look at what they did to – struggle win with USC, a struggle win with Washington, even
they play tough.
A struggle win with Mississippi State. So Arizona is going to bring it, but Oregon State pulls it off. All right, one last game. I don't know if it's a rivalry or not. I didn't look into it, but I put it in there just because of their records. UNLV at Fresno State.
UNLV at Fresno State. I'll go UNLV.
They're both 6-1. I've always liked Fresno State for somehow. I heard Fresno is a damn good college town in California, so I'm going to go with Fresno State.
Yeah. One more game before we're done. UNC, I'm taking over Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I'm taking UNC also. I didn't even really give a lock in. Let me go back.
I think if I have a lock in, it would be Georgia. No, hold on. Ohio State over Wisconsin.
My lock in will be Louisville over Duke.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Ohio State over Wisconsin.
That would be my lock in. Well, that will do it for tonight. This was a hell of a show. I don't know if this was the longest we've ever went. I don't know if this was the longest we've ever went. We're over an hour and a half already. But
it might have been. We had a lot to talk about, though. We had a lot of shit to say.
We're going to be definitely having a lot more now that the NBA is here.
Right. Exactly.
I said hockey talk. The only thing I want to bring up about hockey is my team broke like a league record. They're the only team to go 7-0 as a defending champs, and Vegas is 7-0.
Oh, and shout out to the Las Vegas, was it the Aces, the WNBA team, winning the championship?
Yep.
Shout out to them too.
So
they beat the New York Liberty. Looks like New York ain't gonna get no championships at all this year.
Vegas brought 2 championships in 1 year.
That's crazy.
Yep. Well, yeah, that's the only thing I had. I think Vegas can. I could see Vegas probably going like 10-0 or something. I got to see who they got next. I know they just beat the Flyers the other day. So they got the Blackhawks Friday. That's a win. Saturday, rivalry game with the Kings, even though they're 3-2. That'll be a tough one. Monday, the Canadians. I could see them potentially going 10-0.
Yeah, I can see that.
Same here. I haven't watched a lot of hockey. Like, I'll watch Vegas if it's like prime time. Like, I don't really get on ESPN Plus and watch it, but the fact that they're 7-0 right now, I might have to I might tune in for that Kings game because that's a rivalry game right there.
I have ESPN Plus. I'm gonna start getting on there. I heard they were supposed to be doing something like the NFL Sunday Ticket where you can do a multi-view of games. I haven't really wanted to see if that's actually true, but I'm gonna definitely get on there.
Well, I have ESPN Plus. I only had it for college football, but I'm gonna use it for hockey as well to try and watch. But the only thing that sucks about being a Vegas fan in my area, you have to stay up at 9
so
o'clock.
Late.
To watch their games.
That 4-hour difference is crazy.
Yeah. But that will do it for tonight. This was a great show. We will have another one next week. Same time, same place, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Fanatics Network. Again, subscribe to their brand new YouTube page right now. Follow them on Twitter at TheFanENT. Go to their website, thefanent.com, and check out all our shows there. SAT is on Twitter as well, SAT Sports 89. I still haven't gotten the Twitter back yet. I'm on Twitter at MarcusLee337. He's on Twitter at TheRealFreddy85.
Yes, sir.
Watch our live streams anytime on demand on the Fanatic Network's YouTube channel. Again, subscribe to it or on their Facebook page. I'm gonna do it different where I'm not gonna currently go live on my channel. I'm gonna upload it from now on. I figure that out because I have nothing to give on my upload side. Everything I've done with this show or anything with World Elite that I've done in the past was on the live category.
Right.
I have nothing for uploads, and I'm trying to get my followers up and everything. So I'm gonna try something new here. But this was fun. And I hope you guys enjoy your week. I'm gonna watch what I can of college football, but I'm gonna mainly take a break. This is technically my bye week also.
Yeah.
It's Halloween weekend. We got a horror movie debate Saturday right here on the Fanatics Network.
What time?
I think we're going live around 9 or 10 o'clock. There's gonna be a bunch of us. There's gonna be like
okay,
6
that's
of
cool.
us. So get up.
Yeah, 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock your time?
9 o'clock my time.
9 o'clock, right, so 10 o'clock my I should be home. Okay.
So how it's gonna do, like I'll bring up a movie. Like, get your list ready. Any like horror movie you've watched this month recently, or any of your all-time favorites. Plus,
I got a list. Trust me.
We'll do a thing like there'll be a couple I'm gonna bring up where I'm gonna be like, would you consider this a horror movie, or would you consider it like a thriller or a suspense?
Right.
I've watched a couple movies in the last couple of weeks. They had listed horror, but when I looked, I'm like, I thought it was more suspense or thriller because there were no jump scares to me.
Right. There hasn't been a lot of jump scares in all of the new movies, new horror flicks.
Yeah. Mine are gonna be a lot of old school and shit, but it's gonna
all
be
of
fun.
mine are old school for the most part.
Well, I will see you Saturday for that. But for this, I will see you again next Wednesday night, 10 Eastern, 9 Central.
Yeah, man. It's always a pleasure, Marcus. Thank you for having me on here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so now you got a bye week in college. You can go ahead and watch a lot of NFL football this week.
I will tune in for a few NFL games. I will. I'm definitely going to watch the Saints and the Colts, but I'm going to watch what I can in the afternoon. I don't know what America's game of the week is, so hopefully it's not the Chiefs. But
it's probably Dallas and Rams.
Oh, yeah. They always play every Dallas game.
I'm assuming it's them.
So, all righty, man. Well, it looks like they just showed a highlight. Cleveland the Cavs beat the Nets.
Yeah, Cavs beat the Nets
by 1 point. He shot a 3-pointer with 13 seconds left to take a 1-point lead. But all righty, that will do it. Thank y'all,
Marcus. I'll see you Saturday, and then we'll see you next week for another episode.
You got it. See you.
All right, Brody.